All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us for our latest edition of the Noontime Knowledge series for Penn State fundraising volunteers and President's Club members. I hope everybody had a wonderful time off, and for those who celebrated, had a great Thanksgiving and some time to relax and get a break from the crazy busy lives that I know we all live in today. And I do want to make a note for those who celebrate Hanukkah too. Happy Hanukkah, and hope you have an awesome week ahead. Really excited to host today's session. My name's Anand Gunjam. I am a class of 2015 Smeal College of Business graduate, and I am really honored to be a part of this conversation on a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, Giving Tuesday. A little bit about me and my background. I am a strategy and consulting manager with a company called Accenture. I focus on talent and human capital consulting for mostly pharmaceutical and consumer goods companies. But I have the great honor of serving as the current vice president of the Penn State Alumni Association. And I've also had a number of opportunities to serve in various fundraising capacities, whether it be on the Capital Campaign Committee for Student Affairs and Undergraduate Education, or as a mentor for a number of students through various programs like the Fast Start program, Smeal Student Mentors. And really, even though I've graduated 6 years ago now, I feel more connected to Penn State now and every single year more than ever, just because of the amazing opportunities I've had through Penn State. So I'm very excited to talk a little bit more about how we can get involved with Giving Tuesday and giving back to the university. Before I dive into that, though, just a couple quick housekeeping things. This session is being recorded, so if you don't consent to being recorded, you can drop off now. We will be distributing the recording after the session to everyone who was here and everyone who wasn't able to attend. Microphones are currently muted, but would love for everybody to come on camera if you can. It's always great to see everybody. And we will be unmuting microphones towards the end of the session when we do a Q&A. And of course, the chat is open. So if you have questions, thoughts, comments, please do share them in there, and want to make this as interactive as possible. So with that, let's dive into the topic of Giving Tuesday. And before I do that, I wanted to just share a quick story here. I'm going a little off script, so I'm sure our team will keep me honest if I go too long. But I've always admired Penn Staters and alums who go so far out of their way to do anything they can to support Penn State. And I know one of those ways for many people is to go to every football game they possibly can, home and away. And I tried to be one of those people this year. So on Friday, I got in my car. I live here in beautiful State College, Pennsylvania. I got in my car on Friday, and in the snow and the ice, I drove for 8 hours to East Lansing. And on Saturday, I stood outside in Spartan Stadium for 4 hours to watch our team play, and again in the snow and the ice. And unfortunately, the outcome wasn't what we wanted. But then yesterday, I came back and again drove 8 hours back from East Lansing to State College in the snow and the ice. And I was talking to some people about that, and people were asking me, well, do you regret doing that? That was a huge commitment. But I thought about it, and I said, there's very few things that are more meaningful to me personally than finding ways to support Penn State and be with Penn Staters. And I think very few universities can say what we can say about how far our pride and our passion goes. The fact that I was able to show up in East Lansing into the Marriott Hotel on campus and see Penn Staters come from all across the country to support our student athletes, and to see the Blue Band and the Lionettes and the Nittany Lion. The Alumni Association hosted a wonderful pep rally with dozens of Penn Staters who came in and celebrated and had a lot of fun. And we got to hear from Paul Clifford and Sandy Barber and Kelly Lynch, our Alumni Association president. I got to meet Penn Staters who haven't missed a football game in decades, and it's just such a special thing. And it was a great reminder for me as to why I love to give back, because it is a very special thing that we have here at Penn State, and what we will do to show our pride and show our support for the university. So that's why I think Giving Tuesday is really important. That's why I like to give back, so we can inspire the next generation of Penn Staters to have the experiences that we have, even if that might mean getting in the car for 8 hours and driving across the country to support our Lions. But that was just a quick anecdote that I wanted to share. Giving Tuesday is an initiative that I've been involved with for a number of years now. And for those who don't know about it, it is a international day of celebration for giving back to organizations that people care about. So people all around the world use it as a day to give back to organizations that are meaningful for them. Penn State's been supporting Giving Tuesday efforts and been running its own campaign for many years now. And last year was particularly successful because we broke every record that we've ever had. Now, despite it being an extremely difficult year with the pandemic and financial complexities for many people, we broke the record in terms of number of people who gave back. Over 10,000 people contributing, or 10,000 contributions made, for an aggregate total of $1 million raised during last year's Giving Tuesday, which supported over 125 university programs and initiatives. And when you break down the math there, that's an average of about $100 per contribution. And as a young alum, that's something that I see as very special. It highlights how, regardless of your socioeconomic status, regardless of your age or your demographic, there are ways to give back in meaningful ways and contribute to programs that make the university so special. I was a Giving Tuesday champion for a campaign that I really love, that the Alumni Association hosts every year, which raises money to provide underrepresented first-year students with free Blue and White Society memberships. For those who don't know, Blue and White Society is essentially the student arm and student membership to the Penn State Alumni Association. So being able to provide students with access to the largest dues-paying alumni association in the world and all of the amazing benefits that come with that, I think is a really great way to help them take their step towards being connected. And as we know, for many students, paying program dues and membership dues is a little bit too much of a financial burden for them that they can afford. So that's a program I'm especially excited to support this year. And I know many of you on the call have your own programs and campaigns across the university that you're looking forward to supporting too. So with that, I wanted to give it on and pass it off to two special guests that we have here today, who are going to help us understand more about Giving Tuesday and what we can do to make this event even more successful than last year. So I am joined by two individuals. I'm joined by Jeff Hallett, who is an associate director of annual giving, as well as Andrew Kuhn, an assistant director of annual giving. And they are the real heroes, and they're the ones who make Giving Tuesday such an important and successful event year in and year out. So Jeff and Andrew, let me pass it over to you, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. My colleague Jeff is having a little bit of difficulty getting on, so you're stuck with me here for a while. But while Anand, traveled 8 hours to go to a football game, tomorrow is really our Super Bowl in digital fundraising, as Giving Tuesday comes up. And Jeff and I have been working tirelessly with so many other wonderful individuals across the university for about 8 months now, as we put this all together. And so, first of all, I just want to thank you for having us here to talk about Giving Tuesday and what it means to be a champion. And then, and thank you to all of the people that really sort of helped put together Giving Tuesday as an event, and come together to tell their stories. I think one of the great successes that we've really had at Penn State over the years is really bringing together hundreds and hundreds of individuals and groups to tell their stories on Giving Tuesday, and really to bring their voices together and show how Penn State can come together to support their own and support their community. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to talk about what it means to be a champion during this fundraising event, which can take on a number of different valences. But let me share the slideshow and kind of get things going here. Give me 1 second. This was Jeff's part of the ordeal, and so, of course, can everyone see this slide on the page? Are we good here? Okay, wonderful. So, of course, Giving Tuesday is tomorrow, the 30th. Jeff is here somewhere in the internet ether, and I'm Andrew Kuhn, Assistant Director of Annual Giving, and work on the digital fundraising projects, including Giving Tuesday. Just a little bit of background on what Giving Tuesday really is. It's an international day of giving that many organizations participate in. And this is a day where we really encourage Penn Staters to give back and find the parts of the university that really matter the most to them, and make a contribution to those efforts. We feature numerous programs, organizations, projects all across the campus. We have representation from all of the campuses, all of the colleges, all of the units. It's really, really wonderful. Student groups are involved. Alumni groups are involved. And so it's a really great day to see all of the wonderful things that are happening across the university. We can look at some of the past results just to give you a bit of context as to what's going on. I know Anand mentioned some of the past results. Last year, we broke that $1 million mark and hope to do that again tomorrow. But you can see we had over 10,000 donors last year, individual donors. And so it's really spectacular to see all of those people coming together. Giving Tuesday will launch officially this evening at 18:55 military time, 6:55 Eastern, and it will go through midnight on the West Coast tomorrow. Just a little bit about the process, what people go through to be included in Giving Tuesday. We have an application process that's open to almost anyone that has any connection to Penn State, where if they want to raise money for a Penn State fund. We have them apply. We have a preparation, a kind of training course for them. Really helps people tell their story in a kind of multimedia way online so that they can get the word out about their campaign. And then we also talk about promotion. We help organizations, whether they be kind of official Penn State groups or student organizations, alumni groups, talk about ways to market to the audiences that these kind of stories will matter to the most. And so, like I said, we do this over the course of 8-9 months throughout the year, and then really focusing in these last couple of months as we help people get off the ground. Some of the things that are new for 2021. So some of you may have joined us last year, saw things going on in Giving Tuesday. Jeff and I have really worked hard to make some improvements. And so we've got faster setups this year. So a lot of our campaigns really, we're able to get up and going much more quickly. We always tell people, once you've done one Giving Tuesday, it's really a cinch after that. So much of the information, the writing, the content creation can be reused and improved upon. And so that's been really great. We've included more trainings, more one-on-one sessions, a lot more multimedia training opportunities that are available online 24/7 to people through our SharePoint sites and our Teams groups. And we've seen those to be really, really successful. And just a kind of better experience. We're constantly working with our digital vendors, our software vendors to really create the best experience, both on the front end and the back end for Penn State donors and for all of our users and our staff across the entire university. And so we've worked hard, and we think that we've improved upon those things greatly from last year. And hopefully we'll see all of that in the numbers tomorrow. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about what it is to be a champion. So Giving Tuesday and the type of fundraising that we do on that day is really something that we call peer-to-peer fundraising. It only really works when people are reaching out to other people and asking them to support a cause that they both have some connection to. And to show you how you can become a champion, I'm going to share a different screen here for a moment. So if you stick with me for 1 second. This is what our Giving Tuesday site is going to look like. And if you would like to see what's happening right now, you can actually access our early fundraising period. And this is a time from November 15th up until Giving Tuesday, where we give people a bit of a sneak peek, and you can make an early gift to the campaigns that are present there. Some of you may have already received these links via email, but I can also put them up in the Zoom chat when I'm done speaking here. But as you can see, we've already, done pretty well in those those opening sort of weeks, raising almost $130,000. We've had support from 838 donors. But when you go down, you can really browse through the different stories that are available to you. As of this morning, we had over 140 funds represented on the page. And let's say you find something that really speaks to you. You're an alumni member from a particular college, from a particular campus. There's an athletics team that you like to support, and you find them on the page, and you want to know, what can I do beyond just making a gift? And one of the things that you can do is really become a champion. And what that does is allows you to create a customized appeal to send out to your friends, your family, your colleagues, anyone that might share your passion, and really invite them to join you in supporting this Penn State cause. And you can do that simply by navigating to the page and clicking this Become a Champion button. If you click Get Your Personal Share link, you'll be prompted to enter in your email address and send a confirmation email. If you go to your inbox, you will shortly receive that email. And it will come from Community Funded, which is our crowdfunding vendor. So it'll be info@communityfunded.com. And if you don't happen to receive it in your inbox, you might just check your junk mail to make sure it did end up there. But you'll see a button that says, you can help make a difference. Let's do this. And if you click that button, you will be redirected to a panel that will allow you to set up your own kind of private appeal. So let me take us to this space. Of course, because I'm sharing a different screen, let me share one other screen and we'll get there. I apologize. This was all much more smooth when Jeff was here with me. Give me 1 second. You'll see a screen that shows up like this. And you'll have a kind of private URL, so to speak, that you can share with other people to raise money for that event. And if you copy this link and this button, and you can see all of the money raised that you can inspire. If you go to that link, you can see your own kind of personal appeal. You can add an image of your own photo, your name is there, and you can add a special message. Now, if you want to edit any of this, you simply need to go to your account. You can go to your Champions dashboard, and you can really see all of the different stories from across Giving Tuesday that you can champion. And on any of these particular stories, you can set up your appeal. And in this space, you can choose your own personal fundraising goal. You might decide that you want to try to inspire $500 of fundraising. You can create a custom message. This is important to me. This sort of thing. And then you can save those changes. And once you've done that, you can use this personal share link to then share out via email, text message, however you like to communicate with your audience. You can also go to Facebook, Twitter, or email here, and this will direct people also, again, to your custom URL, which will help you record all of those kind of donations that you've inspired. If at any time you need to change your profile, you can simply go up here again, change your image, change your name, change your email address, any of those things in your champion dashboard. Now, this is a really great sort of function, and I'll stop sharing my screen here. This is a really great function if you want to kind of formally really get involved and support any of these fundraising stories tomorrow on Giving Tuesday. But also for some people, this just isn't for them. There's a lot of steps to it. You have to log in. We have also what we call Informal Champions. And that's just simply going out and finding the sorts of things that are interesting to you and sharing those URLs with others. This could also be a really effective way of getting the word out. So for instance, if here again, Sovereign Magazine is something that's very interesting to me, I want to share this. It's something I've donated to every year. I want to share this out to my, my brother, my friends, everyone around me. This is something I might just copy down the URL and put it in a text message to my friends. This is another great way to kind of share those stories and get the story about Penn State and all of the great things that are going on out to a really wide audience. And so I would encourage all of you over the next couple of days to either set up a kind of formal account on our Giving Tuesday website by either following the early fundraising link, which I'll put in the chat right now if it's not there already. And then also go ahead and share out, find new pockets of the university that are important to you and share those out. And so I'd be happy to answer any questions. And I see Jeff was able to hop on here if there are any, if there's anything he wants to add. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Andrew, for pinch hitting for me. Despite all evidence to the contrary, things are going pretty well so far. So, thanks for bearing with me and covering for me. I just posted the early fundraising link for everybody to go take a look at that.
Awesome. Well, here we'll definitely open it up for anyone who wants to come off mute and ask a question. I know the first one that's a common one, and Andrew, you hit on this a little bit, but obviously a lot of really great improvements to the technology and the capabilities and the champion program over the past few years that have allowed Giving Tuesday to be so successful year in and year out. But last year was particularly successful, right? Despite the pandemic and all of the tough challenges that we had. Do you have any sort of specific thoughts on what made last year's Giving Tuesday effort so successful and how we can replicate that this year too?
So I think I'll start, and Andrew, you can chime in if there's anything you want to add. But so I think the reason why we're here today is part of the reason why things were so successful. The Champions feature was a relatively new element that was kind of piloted last year, and even in an informal capacity, that really helped generate a lot of activity on the site. We saw a lot of gifts and donations coming from lots of different places that we didn't necessarily have access to as an institution. And so I think part of the reason why we were so successful was because of the efforts of people like those on this webinar or this call, going out and reaching out to their friends, colleagues, peers, etc. And so I think those is definitely one of the kind of key points from last year.
I also think one of the benefits is every year we have people like yourselves who say, hey, I'm a part of this particular club or this particular group. Why didn't we run a Giving Tuesday campaign? And, people say, yeah, we should really do that. And so I think the way Jeff and I see it, it's always the more the merrier. And so hopefully next year we'll have an even greater number of groups that are willing to really step up and fundraise on that day. And so I think just the strength is in the diversity and the number of the different groups that come and decide that this is an event they want to participate in.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And I think that makes sense. I know even though I was a champion for the Blue and White Society effort for the Alumni Association, when I went on the dashboard last year, I saw that the student government was running a campaign too, which was a group I was very involved with. So I made sure to make a contribution to them as well. I think it's a really excellent point. So thanks for that. All right, so we have a good group in the crowd. Any questions, please feel free to come off mute and ask what you got.
Honored?
Yes, sir.
Are there any opportunities for matching on donations?
There are. So we have 2 global matches, and those are things that apply to every fundraising page on Giving Tuesday. The first is for our graduates of the last decade. So if you've received a Penn State degree in the last 10 years, you're eligible for a dollar-for-dollar match up to $100 on that transaction. And we also have a match for future donors, so people who have not yet given to Penn State, any alum who makes their first gift to Penn State will have, of $25 or more, will have their gift matched with $25. And that's thanks to support from the Peter Weiler Family Endowment for Advancing Philanthropy. And so those two matches apply to anything on the Giving Tuesday page. We also have, I believe the number is 54 unique matches that apply to various numbers of our campaigns. So some are for just a specific page. In the example of Dickinson Law, they have several donors who have put up matches for that. But we also have a student organization match that applies to any of our student organizations. And so when you go to that Giving Tuesday early fundraising page, or if you go to the main event page that will go live later this evening, there is a matches and challenges section where you can see not only those global matches, but all the specific ones and what they apply to, and how you can make a gift to those specific pages.
All right, great question, Dave. Any other questions that we have from the audience? All right. Well, I know another popular one that we typically get is, I think we see so many Giving Tuesday emails that we subscribe to, companies that we buy from, organizations that we volunteer with. Everyone's doing Giving Tuesday campaign. And so Penn State, of course, is very special for all of us, but it's one of many, many organizations, right, doing a campaign. So what are some of the things that we can do to strategize to make sure that we're differentiated, especially as we're going and promoting to our peers, our colleagues, our fellow alumni?
Yeah, so I'm going to let Andrew jump in on this one too, because he has a lot of feedback from a lot of the other digital initiatives that he runs. But I mean, I think going outside of the normal email and social media posts, I think, are the best way to kind of get in front of the people who are going to care most about what you care about. Like you just mentioned, there are thousands of nonprofits across the globe that are raising money tomorrow, and so it's going to be very easy to get lost in an inbox. It's going to be very easy to get lost in the timeline on whatever social media platform you use. And so making sure that you're reaching out in whatever is the most personal way possible to those who you have the best connection with is going to be an important way to sidestep that.
Yeah, just to echo that, I mean, sitting down at my email this morning was an absolute nightmare as I got through Black Friday emails and, Small Business Saturday, and now, Cyber Monday. And so I think really it is that personal connection. We all have enough marketing emails sitting in our inbox, but it's nice to get a call from someone. I always say, we try to make this as a high-tech digital event as possible, but sometimes just getting on the phone and reconnecting with someone over a club that you were a part of or a game that you saw last week is a good way to spread the word about Giving Tuesday. And so don't just use it as a time to sort of market the university to people, but use it as a time to reconnect with those that you really share a love of Penn State with, just like we're doing today. And so try to create a positive out of the situation, and by creating that personal message, you're gonna appeal to people. And so and that's a kind of outreach that we can't do from our offices here in State College, but all of you really can. And so we appreciate your help on that.
Andrew, that's a really great point, especially around phone calls. I know I see some folks in the audience, we have many current and former leaders of the Alumni Council's Development and Fundraising Committee, and we have over 100 people on the Alumni Council, and the committee has done a great job in the past of dividing up the council and having each individual on the committee calling 10 or 12 people to just remind them about Giving Tuesday, and I think that goes a long way. So I really love that tip. All right, well, let me open it up. Any other questions from the audience here?
Paul?
Anand, I see a lot of our volunteers are on this call and they have many loyalties. Can you be a champion for more than one campaign?
Most definitely.
Yes. Yep. And in fact, you can create personalized appeals as to why you're supporting that particular effort for each one. And so in the screenshot that Andrew was showing of his dashboard, you can see that he was representing actually a couple different ones as he was preparing for this morning. As he was getting things ready, he created a couple accounts. And so you can definitely sign up for more than one.
I see we have a question from Kelly Lynch. Kelly?
Hi, thank you all for everything that you're doing. This is a quick question. Obviously, we also have a big campaign going on with the greater Penn State. Do these funds also count toward those overall campaign goals?
Absolutely.
Right. All right. Any other questions? I'll open it up one more time here. And if not, I do want to ask a closing question, Jeff and Andrew. So putting you on the spot here, but we're a day away, right? And I know the link is open, so certainly we can start to give now. But as we get to Giving Tuesday tomorrow, and you gave us a lot of information, but what is the one thing, right? The one biggest factor that you would say, if there's one thing you had to say that would make the tomorrow's Giving Tuesday campaign even more successful than last year's?
Well, the fundraiser in me says make a gift. And so I think that would be my first instinct. But I think as just someone who really believes in kind of the message of Giving Tuesday and giving back to your community is to kind of piggyback off of something that Andrew said, which is, reach out to the people that you want to connect with and need to connect with and share the exciting things happening about Penn State. So however you get in touch with those people, just share what's happening at the university and invite them to join with you in doing whatever it is to get the word out about that particular effort. And so I think that's my two answers for one.
And for me, every page has a map and every donor shows up as a little point. And below that map is a space where donors can leave a message for the campaign owners, for everyone to see. And I love sitting and just watching that feed all day long as people send their words of support. And so if you're going to make a gift, if you're going to challenge someone to make a gift, leave a little message and some goodwill, because those things, Jeff's the numbers guy, I'm the feelings guy. And so I like to see those messages show up as those dollars go up too. And so that's a kind of cool feature that it's fun to look back on, and I hope we'll see a lot of use out of that tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, the numbers guy and the feelings guy, that feels like a dream team right there. So, and that seems like it's going to be a really fulfilling thing to watch tomorrow. So Andrew, Jeff, thank you both for taking the time to be here with us today and for all that you're doing to make Giving Tuesday such a successful effort. And I want to thank all the annual giving staff too, and development staff that are here with us who make this session go every single month. I'm very excited for tomorrow, for everyone who joined us and all of our volunteers. Thank you for everything that you're doing. I hope we shatter records tomorrow for Giving Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely get the word out there and start giving if you can. Stay tuned for more of these sessions. We host these sessions every month, and the next one will be in January of 2022. Hard to believe that 2021 is almost over, but we look forward to the next session. And it will be featuring a really exciting topic. It's all about the Penn State Innovation Hub in downtown State College. So look out for that. But in the meantime, have a wonderful holiday season. Happy Giving Tuesday. Stay safe in this snowy weather, and hope to see everybody here soon. Thank you very much.